待てグレイブ、今日は交換の日だ。チェンバーの用意はできている。
ドクター、彼は
この体は全ての血液を定期的に交換せねばならない。奴が心と引き換えに手に入れた殺戮用の体だ。聞こえるか。彼女がミカが連れ去られた。おい。全てが終わったらどこか遠くへ行こうな、ブランドン。
So we finally got
a procedure like that, like kill you.
I mean, he's already kind of dead, in a way. How much worse can it get?
Did you see that poster at S2? Yeah, who is that? Good question.
Which poster? I missed it.
The one with the girl at the beginning. Fucking. Your viewers know what I'm talking about.
Maybe I will know. Oh, there it is.
That one on the right wall. You see right there. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. We'll see her. We'll see her one more time. Actually, it never gets explained. Don't worry. No, not.
And that can never be answered.
Who? Now the interesting part about the rooms that open this way is that this is not the checkpoint. Even though we got that go thing, you know, ready go to the next part of the level. That does not count as a checkpoint. You only get checkpoint once you get a black screen, you know, loading. So a certain location can be a little bit longer than the other ones. And hello there, Silent Hill Bunny. I don't know what they actually do. They do make good target practice, you know.
This is true.
When it comes, when it comes to dealing with guys that have heavy fire, it's generally a good idea to just keep jumping left and right, or even back and forth. Although back and forth is a little bit more risky. Or just if there is one of them, pull out your skull juice guns and fire away, because usually it's a screen clear, and they're out of the regular enemies. None of them can actually survive your like the powered up versions of your screen clearing attacks.
No one will survive.
That's the point. Yeah, as you see, going like jumping back and forth. Like I've seen people play this game more competently than I do. On the only other one video there is of it, and they were abusing the jump back and forth and shooting mechanic a lot more than I do. It's just a little bit less convenient to do, and a lot of times it's not necessary, because just pressing the button and making sure that you're actually hitting something, as opposed to just blankly staring at the wall that's getting more bullet wounds, usually does the trick. I've seen what you were doing. Now, in any case, samurais are probably some of the most dangerous enemies, because obviously they don't have guns like weaklings do. They use swords, which are obviously way more powerful.
And they can even deflect bullets with them.
Not sure about that, but they do take a lot more punishment than your average mook, and also they will chase you around and not stay in one place like most mooks do, because, well, they have melee weapons, and thus they have to get near you. So it makes them a little bit more difficult to shoot down. Because like these guys, they'll get into a place and they'll keep shooting. So that means that they're easy targets. The samurais, on the other hand, they keep moving. They keep getting closer to you, which I guess that means the best way of getting rid of them would be to use your coffin attack. I really wish the targeting system was a little bit less worthless, because there are a lot of situations where you would want to take advantage of being able to aim at specific pieces of environment, rather than just going the whole time. Exactly what I said. And now we're waiting for the one thing that's yet to spawn. And you see more of the samurais.
Oh my god, it's the Terminator!
This ambush can go wrong unless you do that. Yes, we need more samurais, because the first two just weren't cutting it. But they were so effective.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there, Nico.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, actually.
Samurais, they didn't cut it.
I made a pun without even realizing it. I am ashamed of myself.
You should be. That was a really edgy joke too.
Yeah, sadly, even though you cannot hurt yourself with your screen clearing moves, an exploding barrel in your face, it's a little bit too much. It's asking too much. In any case, there's gonna be one guy who's gonna spawn sometime. Oh no, there he is, from behind there, and he's a pain in the ass. Which is why we're going to blow up this wall specifically, and that's also going to kill him, because they are interconnected with it through a blood pact.
Good.
That is what happens. Well, I mean, we do know that Grave was capable of making some pact, sold his soul, and that's why his blood doesn't flow, because he doesn't have a soul anymore. I didn't know that soul was connected to blood flow. I really didn't.
Apparently.
But do you think that would it still be an effective strategy if you were to try to defeat Grave by teaching his skeleton about the horrors of the communism? This is one of the cooler parts of this entire stage. You get to see the entire city.
That was a really cool intro.
Mm-hmm. Like just the whole change of mood, just with the swap of the color palette as you're going out of the tunnel into the city at dusk, or well, sunset rather. But yeah, you get to see all of that parallax on the right, and also just break a lot of things, mostly windows, mostly people. I'm not sure if there are people, but they're also breaking windows, so we need to shorten their lives for it, because windows are important. They are the main characters, so we can destroy them. And here's where things get more interesting, because you can see there are arrows pointing to things, and now they're riding on freaking missiles.
That's awesome!
I know, right? It's like, how can we get this whole chase scene even more adrenaline pumped than it already is? Zombies on missiles. Zombies.
No, just throw in some fucking jizz and pirates and fucking we got ourselves a game. I already covered the zombie and robot parts.
I don't think there are any pirates in this, but we do get more samurais.
Close enough. Samurai are awesome.
Oh, now we're actually. That's another thing I like about this stage. As you progress, you are actually moving through the entire city, so the backgrounds actually change significantly as you go on. And
nice.
For some reason, that guy with the no, it's no longer a missile. It's a freaking chopper now.
Riding the missile was a little less practical than they thought, so they just brought up. But what is with all the Who posters? It's seriously gonna bug me.
But do you know who?
No, I know.
Well, they want to know too.
ボブもしくじりました。反逆の理由はビッグダディへの忠義ですか。何ですかそれ。ジジイの忘れ方がそんなに大事ですか。死人が一人前にいいでしょう。ここがあなたの終着駅です。
So this fight immediately
Awesome.
Skips to the goofy part of it. Or rather the more goofy part. This is a much better boss though. Much more interesting. His attacks are pretty well telegraphed, but you get very little time to react to them, and then that will happen.
Right.
Which is why we need to pay attention. And sometimes you may jump and it will still not work. That one is the most important to dodge because the other ones don't do quite as much damage. But the charge slash, which initiates the cutscene attack, yeah, that will end you. Other than that, well, you can also always break out your I win attack. Thankfully, they never make these.
He promptly dodges.
No, he didn't dodge that. Not completely, at the very least. The good thing about the I win attacks is that they'll always stagger the enemy. Oh, and here I you may have noticed that during one of the previous boss fights, when the skull goes all gnarly, you can actually press your I win attack and it will initiate a special animation finisher, which I do show off eventually. You know, Mika, regardless of whether or not you were caught by somebody, you still should have so died there.
Seriously?
ドクターが私を助けてくれた男の人があなたにタワーで会おうってグレイブ
You know,
気をつけて
out now that the enemy fully knows where it is.
私たち
Like move.
これからどうしたらいいの
I mean, do they have anywhere else to go? Probably. I mean, they had the money for that fancy coffin, right?
Yeah, I guess.